fancy story. Kings and queens would turn to thieves to find what we've been holding. You and me, we can take the world.
Oh, sweethearts give sweet compliments, but our love goes without saying. Though you make it hard not to spill my heart every time I see you swaying. Darling, you and me, we can take the world, darling.
'Cause they can write stories and they can sing songs, but they don't make fairy tales sweeter than ours. And they could climb mountains high into the sky, but they can't take the world. Oh, like we can take the world.
It says, therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house. Yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. Jesus says, whoever hears these words of mine and puts them into practice, he is the wise man who builds his life on the rock. Two things I think you need to remember. The first thing, it says you need to hear the words of Christ. The second thing is more important, though. So whoever hears these words and puts them into practice. Continue to put God's word into practice in your lives. The time to build the foundation is never during a storm. It's actually before the storm. The storm comes to all people. It doesn't matter if you're a person of faith or you're a person that lacks faith. It doesn't matter if you're a person who has God in your life or you're a person who does not have God. Storms come to life and they come to all people. The storm tells you what you built your life on.
Ain't it just like love to find us? Ain't it just like love?
Oh, ain't it just like love to find us? Oh, ain't it just like love?
Storms will come. Winds are going to blow. Rivers will rise. And they will beat against your marriage. But your marriage will always stand so long as you build your marriage on what you built it on individually. Jesus and the words of Jesus.
To the sky, but they can't take the world.
Oh no, no, like we can take the world. La da da, la da da, da 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 da.
So Tommy and Amy were put in contact with each other, and their relationship started like a lot of modern relationships on Facebook. You somehow managed to convince Amy to go out on a date with you. And around that time, Tommy and I were playing in a big golf tournament at his club. And after the first round, there was a big banquet planned, so Amy was invited to be Tommy's date. We had finished playing golf, and I remember Tommy and I had gotten cleaned up, and we're waiting outside for the car to show up. And this is when you could really see the nerves kicking in. I mean, Tommy was pacing, he was abnormally quiet. When Tommy's quiet, you know something's going on. So the car finally pulled up, and when Amy stepped out, two thoughts came to my mind. One of them, I think a lot of you have had this thought, wow, she is so out of your league, Tommy. But then the second thought was, I've got to be the best wingman in the world tonight. I mean, I need to make sure that this happens for Tommy. So we go inside and we have dinner, and dinner was great. But then the keynote speaker, the highlight of the evening comes, and it's this renowned golf psychologist. And he comes on stage and he starts to talk about why we're all such terrible golfers. And I remember 2 minutes into this thing, I think Amy's eyes started to glaze over. And after 5 minutes, both Amy and Victoria were gone. No idea where they went. So this guy's talking for half an hour. And I really don't remember anything about it, but all I do remember is thinking to myself, I wonder if Amy convinced Victoria to drive her home back to her apartment in DC, and this date is over. As it turns out, the talk ended. We jumped out of our seats, and we started a frantic search for them. And as it turns out, my wife played the role of wingman that evening. She had swooped in, grabbed Amy, and they were sitting out on the veranda with a cocktail in hand, giggling and laughing and having desserts. Yes, and when we approached them, Tommy just had this look of relief and happiness on his face, and Amy had this big, huge, beautiful smile on her face. And that's when I realized that these two were going to make a fantastic couple.
Now this is a story all about how my best friend made her wedding vow. So I'd like to take a minute to sit right there, and we'll tell you how you got to the wedding of the year. They have promised each other a lifetime of love. Let's be reminded that this match came from above. So raise your glass as we say cheers to Tommy and Amy for many happy years.